What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite hillbilly coming to you live and in living color, right out of Hog Holler, Tennessee. Right out of the graveyard. Dead men tell no tales. What y'all think about my knife that my brother Martin Groves gave me for my birthday? Man, that's alright. Handmade knife. He gave that to me, and I'll tell you what, I'll have that the rest of my life. Thank you, Brother Martin. I love you, brother. Thank you for that. Guess most of you know that went down to the LBL this weekend. Me and my wife went down there, and we had a wonderful time. Had a great time. Met a lot of great people while we were down there. Got to do a lot of great things. Got initiated into the Brotherhood of the Wolf. Barton Nunnlley. So great, so kind to me. Everybody down there, man. I have never been around so many loving and caring people. Some great YouTubers were down there. And I mean, we had a ball. We had a good time. I hope to go back one day. Probably will. It's quite a trip for me. It took about 5 hours to get from here to down there, but we made it. But I'd like to dedicate this video to a special brother of mine that I met, Vic. Brother, this video's for you. And I'm going to do a feral person video for him also. That's his favorite topic, and y'all can be looking for that to be dropping pretty soon. But let's talk about the LBL and the trip down there. You know, not only do I get to hang out with Barton Nunnlley and Martin Groves, I also got to hang out with the Cryptid Studies Institute. Elijah and Gabby were down there, YouTubers. Got to hang out with Tales from the Narc side, Michelle, and that's Narc side. Y'all haven't checked her channel out, or Cryptid Studies Institute out, you might want to cruise over there. Some good stuff that they got over there. Got to meet some new friends. War Criminal 7, Jonestead Farm, another great YouTube channel right there. You know, if you like just good old country stuff and good old country people, man, you can't beat them. And I met plenty more. I mean, I know I'm not mentioning everybody. I'm not good with names, but I'm good with faces, and I'll remember them when I see them again. Went on Barton's show live, first time on camera. But I did have a disguise on. I hid myself best I could. Y'all probably won't even know it's me. Probably won't even recognize my voice. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about what happened over there in the LBL. So, been planning this trip for a little while, and the closer that the trip got, the more I felt uneasy about it. I don't know, I just felt like something was beckoning me, daring me, challenging me to come down there. I'm sort of a magnet for weird stuff to happen. I catch all kinds of weird stuff in my photos, which if I don't forget, I'll tell you about that also. But so the closer it got, the more uneasier I got. Let's just say it's an uneasy feeling. And but I went anyway. I'm glad I did. Wife went. She's glad she did. You know, she's a little bit on the skeptic side of stuff. Even though she has seen some experiences and had a few herself being around me, I think it's more she likes to reassure herself that she's not afraid of anything, so she's sort of in denial. But I'll tell you, people, I had two things happen to me while we was down there that was absolutely terrifying. We go down the first night on a Friday night, and I couldn't tell you where we was at. I don't know what side of the LBL. I mean, I don't know anything about land between the lakes. But I think we were near the kill site. And we get down there, and everybody's doing their calls, doing their whistles, just carrying on and having a great time, you know, and listening. And then all of a sudden started getting responses back from deep off in the woods. And, you know, my wife asked me, what is that? I tell her, well, that's the thing. You know, we don't know what that is. Especially down here. Especially if you've seen Barton's video that's getting ready to come out. If you've seen that little clip from the other night, what he caught, kind of looks like an alien peeping around a tree. And I didn't realize how terrifying that little clip was until I got home and watched it. But so we're sitting there and we're listening to all these calls and stuff. And Martin Groves, he decides he's going to leave. About 10 minutes after Martin leaves, I don't know what time it is. It's late. It's 1:30 maybe, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I decide I'm going to leave. So me and the wife, we get in the truck and we start down the road, and we get, I don't know, a little over a quarter mile, maybe a little further away from where everybody had the fire built and where everything was going on. And I tell her, I say, hey, stop right here. There ain't nobody around. Before we get out on the main road, we're still on a little dirt gravel road. And I said, let me do a tree knock. I said, I haven't got to do one of those. I said, I actually forgot. I had this stick with me, a little thumper. I said, stop right here and I'll get out and do one and just listen real quick. So she's like, all right. So she stops and I get out, and there's a little hardwood just on the other side of the ditch, on the passenger side. I was letting her drive. So I get out and I go over there to it, and I rear back and I just give it a thump, you know, just a one-time knock. And as soon as I knocked on that tree, I don't know what was up on the hill above us on her side of the vehicle, but whatever it was, it took off after us, or after me. Sounded like a herd of buffalo coming down that hill, folks. I am not telling you no lies. There was trees falling, branches breaking, limbs cracking and snapping, and I mean, whatever it was was in a dead run. And you could tell it was bipedal. You could tell it wasn't no deer. I mean, it sounded just like a herd of buffalo coming down from there. Well, as soon as I heard this, immediately I run for the truck. I about fall in the ditch, forgot that there was a ditch there. I open the door and I jump in and I slam the door and I say, let's go. Did you hear that? Well, she thinks I heard a wood knock. She's like, hear what? And all of a sudden she puts her ear to the window there. It's about halfway down, and her facial expression changes, buddy. She hears it, and this time it's getting close by this point. It had a ways to travel and it was almost there. She couldn't hardly get the truck in gear, couldn't get her window up. This state of panic set in on her because she knew this thing was now just feet away from her on the other side of the ditch. And I could hear it from the passenger side now, still coming down through there. Well, she finally gets the truck in drive, almost runs us in the ditch, getting took out of there. And buddy, you talk about getting out on the road and laying some rubber, we done it. I think we went the wrong way for 10 miles before we figured out what was going on. But you talk about two people that were scared. That tells me whatever that was up there in the woods, it was being quiet, and it was watching the people from the fire from a distance. It was, I guess you might say it was stalking people. But whatever I done, when I done the wood knock, it made it mad at me. It didn't like that one bit. So, yeah. I think it was mad because they had been doing calls all night with it, and I don't know if it felt like it was mocking them or it thought it was going to find a mate and didn't when it got over there. I don't know, but for some reason it was mad and it didn't appreciate that wood knock. So that's the first night. We get back to the motel. We're wore out. We drove all day. She's shaking, nervous. I'm shaking. So up comes Saturday. So we go explore all day Saturday. I took bukus of pictures that I'm going to go through and look at. Come Saturday night, we go to a different place. And Barton, he's going to do a live stream. And I'm on his live stream. And like I said, first time on camera. I'm kind of disguised, but you can see how fat I am and all that good stuff if you watch it. It's on his channel. It's the last live stream he done Saturday night. But he talks to me there a little bit, and he's going around and he's talking to everybody, you know. And while he's going around interviewing people, it's me and my wife, and there's another lady sitting on the other side of my wife, and we're just listening, you know. Everybody's really quiet. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it sounds like that somebody bends down right ear level with me and makes a noise which sounds something like a growl and a breath being let out, a mix between them. Something like now that's exactly what I heard. So I turned to look at my wife, and at the same time she's turning and looking at me, and she said, "Did you do that?" I said, "I didn't do nothing." I said, "What was that?" And she said, "I have no idea." And then the lady on the other side of her says, "I don't know, but I heard it too." And it was right in her ear. It was in my wife's ear, and it was in my ear, which is very odd. And we were on the back row, and I don't know what it was, but I promise you, it put cold chills on my spine. It made my blood run cold. Scared the absolute crap out of me. Not to mention how it scared my wife. I could tell she's not used to being around things like that. She don't like things that can't be explained at all. And that's something that couldn't be explained. So I think Latisha hears us talking about it, and she hollers at Bart and tells him, "Hey, something just happened right back here." And I seen in the comments where one of the subscribers said that they looked like they saw red eyes in behind us there, like red eyes squatted down. I'm not sure. I need to watch it back. I don't think you can hear it on his video because he was away from us talking to somebody when it happened. But we sure heard it. And it sure did keep us awake that night. I mean, it was something absolutely terrifying. Now, I'll tell you all, that place is a very dark, dark place. The demeanor changes when it gets dark there. And it feels like you're being watched from the time you get there to the time you leave. It feels like something's in the woods everywhere you go watching you. A lot of things. It just feels like there is a lot of things, and the area gives off the sense of death to me. Like there's been a lot of death over the years. Not just the massacre people, not just the campers, but just the Indians, everything. You know, there've been a lot of death happen in that area. A lot of sorrow, you know, people lost their land. But you can feel it. The land holds those emotions. It holds those feelings. And when you go there, you can feel it for yourself. You can tell that it's there. Brother Martin also gave me this cool little flashlight I'm using right now too. He's a true brother, I tell you what. They all are. They all are, every one of them. But yeah, that's my little trip to the LBL. And I mentioned pictures to you. And what I'll do is after this video uploads, I'll go to my community page and I'll put some of those pictures on. Now I'll tell you what you got to look for. There is something in the picture that looks like I don't know, something flying like a centipede that's flying in front of me. And it's in more than one picture. If you look, you can see it up close. I'll put the first one up close, it's to the left. And then the next picture looks like it's going down into the ground. You can actually see it going down where the striping is on the road. And then a few more pictures, you can't hardly see it unless you zoom in. But if you zoom in, you'll see it. It just looks like a little white line. But it is the oddest, evilest looking little thing that I've ever seen. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know what it is. I ain't never seen no bug flying. It looks like that. Looks like a giant centipede flying. And it looks the same in all the pictures. I think some people calls them rods, maybe. Something like that, maybe. But those showed up in my pictures. And I'm sure there's probably other stuff that showed up in there. But everybody's been on me to tell them about our experience down there. And that was our experience. And if you've never had anything come up and basically growl or whisper in your ear unexpectedly, it's a pretty horrifying feeling, especially when you're in the middle of the woods, because that's a dark place there. That's a different kind of darkness than I've ever experienced. It's different than these mountains, and these mountains have a different darkness. I mean, there's a different feel to both of them. And at the night time, they're both frightening, very frightening. Just the unknown about it, the other. Now, nobody knows what to expect. But anyway, guys, I'll get off from here, and I just wanted to tell you all about my little experience there, and wanted to mention all those people. A lot of them have different YouTube channels, and if you would, go check some of their channels out. It's full of, they've all got good stuff on there. And I just tell you, I mean, they bought me a cake for my birthday. It was 2 or 3 of us' birthday, and they just, you know, a lot of them had never even met me before and went out of their way. Got my picture made with a lot of them. Got my picture made with Barton. Got my picture made with Martin, Elijah, Gabby. Got my picture made with a whole group pictures. My new brother Vic, Juan, all these people, man, just, I can't explain it, but I would have really missed out on something if I hadn't have went. You know, when you run into somebody and you can tell that they're good people, I've got a sixth sense about people, and everybody I met was genuine and was good. Especially my brother Vic, such a kind and caring person, very kind. He's in the chats a lot. I won't give away his name, but he's in the chats a lot under a different handle. But guys, I'll get off from here. And oh yeah, and by the way, on the way back, we also stopped at the Bell Witch Cave. Yeah, it wasn't good enough that we had 2 nights of it. We had to stop, press our luck, and get 3 nights of it. I carried a rock with me for a little while, but I didn't have what it took to bring it out. I left it in there. But if y'all all go to my community page, like I was telling you, when my video loads, I'll get up and put the pictures on my community page there, and y'all check those out too and tell me what you think about those. You'll have to zoom in and look for it, but anyhow, guys, I love you all. Thank you all for being so kind to me in the comments. You all are a special group of people, followers. You all are always nice, respectful. Just a great bunch of people to talk to. I know a lot of you, when I see your name on there and handle, we've had conversations on here. I wish I could meet everybody. Maybe one day I'll come out of the shadows and do a little meet and greet, kind of like I did this weekend. A lot of people found out who old South Force 10 was this weekend. But anyhow, guys, I love you all. It won't be long. I'll be back in here. You just won't have to fuss at me too bad. And until then, this is South Force 10, and I'm going to the house here in Hog Holler. See you guys later.